My name is Corinne Bishop. I'm a senior at Alden High School, and today I'm going to be interviewing Patrick Quast. Would you like to tell a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm originally from Lockport. Lived down in North Carolina for about 10 years and moved back home when we had our first child. Her name's Lily. She's 4. She's amazing. And then we have Lincoln, who's 4 months old, and he doesn't talk much yet other than make dinosaur noises all the time. Aww. So we got the 2 of them. We have 3 dogs at home, Addie, Bailey, and Cora. Huge sports fan. I'll play any game that's out there. So obviously huge Bills and Sabres fan, Yankees fan. I'm a coach, originally basketball, swim, coached swimming in college, and did that in college, and then stuck around for a couple years after, did grad school work, and yeah, just really excited about having a chance to work at Alden High School, really define what it means to be a Bulldog and what that brings to each kid as they try and find the thing that they're great at. So super excited to be back working in a high school. I worked in a high school in North Carolina, been at a middle school, currently working at an elementary school, but excited to get to where there are larger humans walking around than the kindergartners and first graders that I've had this year. So super looking forward to it and really excited about having a chance to work here. Yeah.
So how did you get into education, and like where did you go to college, just anything like that, like how you got to where you are?
Yeah, so I always wanted to be a teacher. Social studies is my thing. I absolutely loved it. Taught that in North Carolina, taught that in New York. And I wanted a chance where I could go to college and have to pay as little of it out of my own pocket, because that's how I had to pay for it. Got a great scholarship at Oswego. Highly recommend anybody that's looking, check out the Lakers. And went there, had a chance to swim with them in college, swim at that school, so did that, specialized in long distance freestyle, 400 IM. No one should ever swim the 400 IM, don't do that to yourself. But then got into stayed at Oswego after undergrad for grad school, which was in literacy, to teach kids how to read, because every test is a reading test before they do anything else. And just have always loved helping kids make good decisions, become good humans. That's really like my whole thing. And there's a lot of things that go into being a good human, like can you time manage and prioritize and take perspective and do all those things that people need you to do, but also like I want you to be smart, I want you to be good at sports, do well at music. If you're into performing arts, like that you're able to do those things. If you're a great artist, how do we capitalize that and find a way for you to find success? And that's really what I'm passionate about, is helping kids after high school. So, you know, you go through high school to learn and get yourself set up so you can go and do anything in the world that you want to do, and that's what I believe in, and I'm super excited to have a chance to do that here.
Yeah. What was your first teaching job like?
It was interesting. It was with a online platform called Play-Doh, and I was working with just 2 kids, trying to get them to graduate. Did that and enjoyed that. That was my first like paid teaching job, but my first teaching job, 7th grade social studies. I loved it. 7th grade, no one in the history of mankind has ever said, you know when I had life really figured out? 7th grade. That's when I was totally dialed in. So it's good you help kids like get through the bumps and lumps and try and make sure that they can figure out good habits, learn them, and then go forward from there.
Yeah. So what brought you to Alden specifically?
So anywhere I've ever worked, I try to find a place that feels like home. And for me, where I was in North Carolina, which we really loved being down there, just we didn't want to be the aunt and uncle from North Carolina. So we packed up to move back home in the middle of COVID and all that nonsense. So packed up and came across country to come back home. And for me, Alden is a place that seems to check a lot of my boxes. I like a small town feel. I like a group that takes pride in who they are and where they're from. And then also the idea of we want you to go out and do anything in the world that you're interested in. And it doesn't have to be you're only successful in high school. You can go and find success anywhere else beyond here. Size of the building is really good. You got a great mascot. I have a bulldog as a dog at home, so that also works out great. She's an interesting character, but she's a good egg, and we want to make sure that wherever I am, I want to be a part of the community. So don't be surprised. I come to a lot of sporting events. I go to a lot of after-school events, community events to see kids, because I want to see you out and about in public. You know, I don't normally look like this. This is about as dressed up as I get. Shout out the Kyries. But this is about as dressed up as I get, because I want people to see like who I really am and what I'm about, and that's seeing kids be successful wherever they are. So whether you're working at Tops or at Marie's or you're out and about at a sporting event, like don't be surprised if I come up and see you and say hi, because I want to see the things that you're interested in doing.
Yeah. You mentioned you coached before.
Yeah.
Is that still something you're into, or are you
Love
sticking
it.
to the principal thing?
I absolutely miss coaching. My wife would kill me if I picked up another team, but I absolutely love coaching. To me, it's a chance to just see kids work at a task and get really good at it, and then to be able to handle all the things that life's going to throw at you. Life never gets easier. You just learn how to do hard better, and a great way to practice that is in whatever sport you're playing or instrument you're performing with. Like, how do you get better at it and figure out how to do the things that are important so you get to do the things that you want to do.
And what excites you the most right now about becoming the next principal at Alden High School?
Learning the kids, first and foremost, learning the teachers. Everybody's got their own individual thing that they have or believe that they're passionate about, so learning about what makes them tick. And then the other thing is setting a good, strong path for us going forward. Like, it shouldn't matter to be an Alden Bulldog. It should be really important, and you should feel it and have some pride and carry that with you wherever you're going, whether that's a college or career or military, or whether you're going just to another school for an event. It should always be remembered that you're an Alden Bulldog and what that means to be for you right now, but also for you in the future. And I think helping to pave that, getting input from all of our folks that are a part of this community, and how do we make sure that we set the standard and let the standard, is that saying, the standard is the standard. You want to make sure that we're doing the right thing all the time. And that's hard in today's day and age when everything is recorded and kids make mistakes and adults make mistakes. But for me, when I talk about what I think it'll be important for the next group of Alden kids that come through here is, can you do the right thing when nobody's watching? And that's what really matters. And I'm a big believer that kids can reach whatever bar you set for them, adults the same way. So as long as we make sure that we put first things first, I think we'll be all right in the grand scheme of it. And I hope that that's something that is wanted and needed here as well.
And what are some goals you have for your first year at Alden? Like anything with policies or just how you're going to come off?
Yeah, so it's like listening first. So like the one thing that's like a non-negotiable for me is, like, I firmly believe that if you set up an environment for success, kids will be able to reach it. So I'm going to set the size of the sandbox. Everybody gets a different sandbox to play in. Some of that little green turtle that you have in your backyard when you're like 5. Others get, the length of Atlantic Beach. It's different for each group that's there, but I want to treat you like an adult till you give me a reason to treat you like a child. Make good decisions, time manage, prioritize, do all the little things right, be kind to others. And then when we get into the full school year, if we're able to live by those tenets, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot. But really, it's about listening. There's a lot of really good things that are happening. My job's not to come in and go like, well, you got to do it this way different or this way different or that way different. Listen, learn, observe, and then when we can make some suggestions or implementations, we'll go ahead and do that. For me, I think that this is a building that's in a position of strength, and we want to build on it and stand on what other people have done beforehand, not for me to come in and just upset the apple cart and do it however I want. That's not the goal.
I heard that you were named Teacher of the Year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, can you just tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I taught 7th grade social studies, and I absolutely loved it. I think social studies is a great chance to learn about how our world has functioned, how history has influenced what we're doing in today's day and age. So I think it's really important that kids have a passion for history and social studies, and I am a giant clown. So like I absolutely have no problem laughing at myself or putting myself in a position where kids can enjoy it. We would do really great lessons with kids. One of my favorite ones was about a mock trial that our 7th graders would put on, and they did it amazingly well. We did some really good things that required kids to learn and develop their own thesis and then support it with evidence and then present it to their peers and people to take feedback. So I think that was cool. And I think the thing that I'm most proud of, though, when it comes to being Teacher of the Year is there was a lot of students and families that had some difficult times in their life, and they felt that I was a good person to go to for support. So it's really not about like the teaching, it's about how you're there for them as a human being. And it wasn't always like, you were so nice to my kid. It was like, you helped them grow a lot, and that's my jobs. And everybody has to do it in a little bit different way, but if we all focus on whatever that person needs for success, giving it to them and letting them go out and handle business, that's what I like to do. So that's many moons ago, but yeah, it's definitely one that I look back with pride on, because it was about how I help build good relationships with the kids, their families, and my other teachers that I work with so that we can find success for everybody.
Do you think your time coaching has changed the way that you're a teacher and administrator?
100,000%. Like, if you're a great coach, you can't just be focused on the end result. So like, I coach swimming. I can't look at a time that a kid's supposed to give me like, look, if you don't break 2 minutes in the 200 free, like I failed as a coach, you failed as an athlete. But what I can focus on is the day-to-day, how you went through practice, your practice habits, your small things that you did that contribute to the larger overall goal. But for me, it's more so about like progress over perfection. You're never going to be able to be perfect in every aspect of what you're doing. Even in a perfect game, there's never been a perfect game that's got 81 strikes and that's it, because there's no immaculate innings for 9 straight innings, or there isn't a ball thrown. So if you just look at what is the goal for today, and then how do we build on that for the goal for the next day, and then continue to do that. And if you can make persistence your superpower, you are in a really great spot. And I would tell all my kids, like, we don't quit. Like, you can do a lot of things in here that might not be the goal, but one thing we never do is quit. And to be able to have that resilience and grit to keep moving forward, I use that with how I interact with kids, with how I interact with parents, with how I interact with teachers of, okay, so let's say that lesson didn't go perfectly. Are you just gonna like get your stuff and walk out? Probably not. You're gonna sit down, figure out what didn't work, and then change it for the next day so those kids know what's going on. If you're a kid and you have a bad day, doesn't mean we like, well, you're done for the rest of the year. No, you figure it out, make it right, and then go back after it. If you can keep getting up off the mat, that's what's more important to me. And I use that with coaching. I use that with being an administrator. And I think more so than anything, whether it's a coach or a teacher, administrator, a dad, whatever you're doing, you're a leader. And there's a big difference between being a boss and a leader. And I pride myself on being a leader, which means you got to be willing to do any job that you're asking anybody else to do. So pitching in and helping out any way you can, that's what I signed up for, and that's what I'm here to do.
How would you describe your leadership style, and how do you want like the students and the staff to be impacted by that, like day to day?
So I'm a big believer in servant leadership as a whole. Like, a crown doesn't make you a king. You have to do any job of anybody that's underneath you, like I talked about. So if that's picking up trash in the cafeteria, if that's making sure doors are closed, those are the little things that add up. And more so than anything else, it's also like how you treat people that matters. I'm going to treat you like an adult till you give me a reason to treat you like a child. Like, do the right things, do them the right way, and we'll be able to make sure that this year goes well. I think what's also really important is when you learn the staff and the students that are here, not everybody gets the same style all the way across. My 4-month-old doesn't get the same kind of parenting that my 4-year-old does. Mm-hmm. It's a different layer of like, how do you support them and help them to figure it out? I think if you were to ask my kids that I had in North Carolina and my kids I've had in middle school, they'll tell you like I think of one of my kids from North Carolina. He would always say, "Mr. Quast, don't play. Mr. Quast, don't play," which is true. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I will let you be who you are and do what you need to do, but don't play about stuff that's important. So if you can do your job and do the right things, we can cut up and joke and have all that opportunity. But what we can't do is we can't be rude. You can't be disrespectful. You can't cross that line. But let's enjoy coming to work, because you're coming to work as a student, I'm coming to work as an administrator, but we're all in the same building trying to do the same thing, which is figure out how to do life right. And if we can both do that, I think that would be good for everybody to handle. What
are some things that you're passionate about outside of school?
I'm a giant child who will play and compete in any sport you can find. So I play hockey twice a week. I have basketball twice a week. I do golf once a week. I play in the backyard with my kids on the trampoline all the time because I thoroughly enjoy that. Like, any competition that I can get into, I love. So if that's cornhole, anybody want to throw bags, I'll be happy to step in and show you how it's done. Like, I love competing, and part of competing for me is also like, how do you be a good person? How do you make sure that you're setting yourself up to be viewed in the right light by the people that are around you? So for me, like, I love getting to be able to spend time with my kids. My daughter's doing T-ball this year. She has been doing swim. T-ball, oh Lord, it's like herding cats out there. It's just a lot of, don't play in the dirt, don't eat the sunflowers, just stand there, act normal. So like trying to coach her through that, which is great. She just had her first dance recital. She did amazing, so that was cool. And really just being able to be with family. Like I said, I got 3 dogs at home, so they keep us busy all the time. So going on walks with them when we get a chance. But really for me, my passions are like where I can play and be a child myself and enjoy competing. But then then also like just I take pride in our house. We've done a lot of work to repair our house pretty much from pretty much basement to roof. Like we've replaced every wall, every floor, roof is done, siding's done, like gutters, like taking care of our house and making sure that it's a spot that's a source of peace and comfort for us. So when we get back and I don't have to look at, oh, I got to paint that wall, or oh, there's a chip in the drywall, or whatever it may be, that stuff annoys me, so I fix that stuff, and then it's like a good place where like everything is good at home and things are all set up. Things I do not enjoy doing would be whenever I forget to do one of the tasks that my wife has laid out for me, and I'm like, yeah, I need to go back and weed, or I need to go back and I need to chop that wood in the back that's been sitting there for a year. So sometimes I forget, but luckily she's always there to remind me of when I don't do the things I'm supposed to. So she's amazing. My wife, Susan, is one of the greatest human beings that's on the earth, and I'm very grateful that she keeps me in line, keeps me on track with what I'm doing.
So at the end of your first year as principal here, if you wanted the students to be able to describe you in 3 words, what would you want them to be?
Personable, honest, and I'm torn between, I think advocate is a good one. Like there's someone that I can go to if I need help, but there's someone that also like sticks up for us as what we do. Like I think personal meaning anybody can come up and they can talk to me. So personal advocate are kind of the same, like that they're able to bring concerns or questions to my attention. Honest meaning like when you make a mistake, I'm gonna tell you that you made a mistake. You're gonna take your consequence. We'll have a conversation about it, and then we'll move past it and how you're not going to repeat it, because I do believe patterns are problems. Anybody can make one mistake on any day, but the repeated pattern of mistakes isn't good. And then, I mean, I don't know that I'd want people to say this about me, but like I'm in talking with a lot of my kids from North Carolina that are now, I just had my last group that I taught just graduated college. So I've been checking in with them and where are you going and what's going on. And they would tell you that I'm a person who's genuine. Like I will, if I say I'm going to do something, I want to follow through on it and make sure that it happens. And if kids see that, I think more so than anything else, kids can see through nonsense all day long. If you try and tell them a story and, oh, it's going to be this and that, they'll know when you're full of it, and they will absolutely call you on it. So I believe in just being honest and upfront and saying like, yeah, if you want this to get better, here's what you have to do. If you want to do something different, then let's figure out how to do it and do it better. But being genuine about their success, about what they're doing. I just had 2 girls I was checking in with that swam for me. One graduated from Carnegie Mellon, one graduated from UNC, and they were both like just very supportive and appreciative of like, because I would go to their games, because the one girl played soccer, and go and check in and see how they were doing. And that's the thing that I want to do for kids from here too, is when you leave here, you never stop being one of my kids. Like I'm going to view you like you're one of mine, and check in, keep tabs. How can I help you? What do we want to do for the next phase of your life or where they're going? And they're set up for really good things. They're working with a journalism school, which is awesome. And then they're going to move back to North Carolina. One's moving back to North Carolina, which is great. But just like being genuine about like, I want to see you be successful, and whatever I can do to help, I'm here to do it for you. So I think those would be 3 good things. I think I probably listed more than 3 words, but you can edit this in post. You'll figure it out.
All right, so thank you for joining me today for this interview, and Alden next year is very excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. I think what'll be cool is like learning the traditions and the things that Alden has that are unique to Alden. That's, for me, you want to value that. You want to respect the traditions that are there, and you want to build new ones too as they come through. So if you'll see me, or maybe you won't see me, but you'll probably hear me at sporting events, I'm going to there cheer on as loud as anybody else can. And my daughter just had her dance recital, and she knew that I was in the audience. I have a very obnoxious loud whistle, and you'll hear that. And so she's up there dancing away, doing it up, and then when it finished, I whistle, and she's like, Dad, and like looking for me, which is, I want that similar thing for our kids. Whenever if they're at a performance, or if they're at a sporting event, or they're out in the community, and you hear that whistle, like you'll know it's me, and I want to say hello and check in on you. Which is, I think that's part about being an advocate and being honest of who you are. I'm excited to see and hear what you're doing, and wherever that is, whether it's 9th grade, 12th grade, or beyond, want to check in and see what you're doing and how life is going for you.
Nice. Yes,
Yeah,
we're all
thank you
very
for having me.
excited. Of course.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
We're all good then.
Ta-da!